Hey guys, it's Brooke. So today I'm going to be talking about the newest album from country singer Kacey Musgraves entitled Golden Hour.
Days late, haven't been early since 88.
And it's actually funny because on my vinyl video giveaway, which is still up, you can still enter to win any vinyl of your choice off of Amazon as long as you're subscribed to my channel. I said in order to enter the contest, leave me feedback on what you would like to see on my channel. And people said a lot about doing album reviews, and I had already planned to have this video uploading today for 2 or 3 weeks and have had the thumbnail, which by the way Infinity on Hannah made. I'm gonna link all her stuff. She's awesome with graphic design stuff. I was like, I've got good news for you. So I'm not really great at reviewing albums in general. I feel like I can't really review an album unless it's an album that I just love. Kind of like the only thing that I've done similar to that is my Reputation video, and I don't know if you'd even necessarily call that a review because it was more of like an analysis. I don't know, but I don't know if that's something I'm going to do regularly, like when any new release comes out. But if it's an artist that I really love and talk about a lot on this channel and am passionate about the album, then I most definitely want to do more videos talking about specific albums, and that is the case today. So Golden Hour is the third studio album by American country music artist Kacey Musgraves. I talk about Kacey pretty frequently in my videos, so if you watch my videos, there's a good chance that you've heard of her. And if you're a One Direction or a Harry Styles fan, you may know that she's opening for Harry on the North American leg of his tour this summer, which I'm going to see, so I get to see her and Harry then. I started listening to Kacey Musgraves in either 2013 or 2014, whichever year that Merry-Go-Round came out. And before Apple Music was even a thing, and before I had a way of streaming music, this was when I was in like 7th grade, but I used to use the Apple or iTunes radio. I don't remember if it was called Apple Radio or iTunes Radio, but they used to have the little stations on there you could listen to, and I heard this song one day on one of those stations and I was just blown away by it, and I instantly bought the song on iTunes, and I kind of did a little bit of research on her, not super extensively, but I researched her more and I found that she had another song called Follow Your Arrow that I also absolutely love, and I've listened to both of those songs since I discovered them, but I didn't get like super into her as a person. She's still not my like absolute favorite person. I just love her and a lot of her music, which we will be discussing more in this video. In 2017, especially when I found out she was opening for Harry, I went back through and I listened to all of her music, and there are some songs that I'm not a fan of on both of her first 2 albums, and that is also the case with this album. But like the first 2 albums, there are songs that I absolutely adore and am blown away by on this album. I also just really like Kacey as a person. Like, if you just look at her, you listen to her music, you watch her interviews, you look at her social media, she is so unapologetically herself, which I love. It's almost like Kacey Musgraves is a brand, but it's not like she's trying to make herself a brand. Like, I mean that in the best way possible. It's like she's not trying to put on this act, she just literally is who she is, and it's fantastic. I feel like you can take so much from that. Like, my big philosophy on being yourself, even though that sounds kind of generic at this point, is that you should be your complete self and love everything you love, no matter who you're talking to. And I feel like she's a very good indicator of that, and she knows exactly who she is, and she's not afraid of showing that, and I just find that really admirable. Golden Hour came out about 3 weeks ago. She released 2 singles prior to its release called Butterwise and Space Cowboy. These singles popped up on Spotify as new releases, and I saw her post on Instagram and stuff about it. I think that I listened to like half of Butterfly and I didn't really like it, and I didn't listen to Space Cowboy because I thought that the name was weird and I couldn't imagine what she could possibly be talking about. And I was curious to see what she was talking about, but I guess the curiosity was not enough to drive me to actually listen to it, which was a huge mistake. But when the album actually came out, I did listen to it and fell in love with the vast majority of it. This album is a laid back but passionate take on the events going on in the modern world. It's tied together with good writing, good musicianship, and all around the board 100% pure Kacey Musgraves fashion. This album has influences of nature, her life with her husband Rustin Kelly, who she married in between this album and her last album. Also themes of spirituality and religion, which has always been kind of a constant on her stuff, but it's just like kind of from a different perspective on this album. And also themes of both happiness and sadness, which we will get into.
Born in a hurry, always late, haven't been early since 88.
Slow Burn is my favorite song on this entire album, and that seems to be the case for a lot of people. But this song sets a pace that paces out the entire album perfectly. Like, this song sets the scene for the whole album. I adore the opening lines in which she says, "Born in a hurry, always late, haven't been early since 88. Everything about it goes so thematically with this album and just has Kacey Musgraves written all over it. Kacey alludes to not being in a rush and almost watching the world pass her by in slow motion. She keeps a theme of simplicity, and I love lines like, you know, the bar down the street doesn't close for an hour. We should take a walk and look at all the flowers. Like, I don't know. I just love that. Even though she is always herself, she embraces her imperfections, and I love the lines, "Old soul waiting my turn, I know a few things, but I still got a lot to learn." This song and this album prove that sometimes a slow burn is better than an explosion.
And something fun. I keep looking at my phone, putting it back down. There's a little part of me that's got the fear of missing out, and it's so
Lonely Weekend is another one that it talks about her life as a musician and her life now that she's married to Rustin Kelly, as he is also a musician. It describes a weekend in which she knows she probably should be out doing something but has no motivation to do anything because she's separated from her husband. The homebody essence of this song is so strong and so prevalent, and this is one of those songs and one of those pieces of art where it just encapsulates an emotion so well that I can't sit here and explain to you exactly how this song summarizes how I feel. It just does, and you have to listen to it. And I feel like this is something that everyone feels, that she just summarizes so beautiful. Lines, "I've got a million things to do, but I haven't done a single one. And if my sister lived in town, I know that we'd be doing something fun. I keep picking up my phone, putting it back down. There's a little part of me who's got the fear of missing out," are just so relatable to me. And I can literally feel those lines in my soul, which sounds dramatic, and I probably should stop, but it's just great. And towards the end, she accepts it, and she says, even if you got somebody on your mind, it's okay to be alone sometimes. And I just love this song.
tired. I didn't know him, and I didn't know me. Cloud nine was always out of reach. Now I remember what it feels like to fly.
Butterwise is still not my favorite song on the album. This is one that I probably will not, have saved to Spotify. But this song is a good metaphoric song that talks about her relationship with Rustin Kelly. This song is kind of like Merry-Go-Round, which I think is one of the best written songs of all time. And I don't think it's on the same caliber as Merry-Go-Round, but I think it's similar to Merry-Go-Round in the way that it's multi-dimensional, and like, yes, this is not the most creative metaphor she could have come up with, but she uses it on different aspects. Like, she talks about literally the birth of a butterfly, and she says, you know, you give me butterflies, like stomach butterflies, and it's just, it's well written in the way, you know, isn't my personal favorite, but it still goes with the album beautifully.
What a world, don't wanna leave. All kinds of magic all around us, it's hard to believe. Thank God it's not too good to be true. Oh, what a world, and then there's you.
Oh, what a world, and then there are musicians like Kacey Musgraves. This song blew my mind the first time I heard it, and it still does every time I listen to it. She opens up talking about flowers blooming and open-mindedness, and delivers the beautiful line, "Oh, what a world, and then there is you." And if that does not melt your heart, then I don't know what will. She takes on an interesting view in this song, discussing different opinions and perhaps religious opinions and worldviews on where in fact this wonderful world may have come from. And she says that she wishes that she knew for sure, but what she does know is that she's here with him now and that she's happy. And I think it's just a really beautiful song.
Bursting with empathy, I'm feeling everything, the weight of the world on my shoulders. Hope my tears don't freak you out, they're just kinda coming.
Mother is a short 1-minute song that speaks to me every time I hear it, and its power speaks for way more than just a 1:18 song. The full lines of the entire song are bursting with empathy, I'm feeling everything, the weight of the world on my shoulders, hope my tears don't freak you out, they're just sort of coming out, it's the music in me and all of the colors, I wish we didn't live so far from each other, I'm just sitting here thinking about the time that's slipping and missing my mother. And she's probably sitting there thinking about the time that's slipping and missing her mother. The song just puts you in kind of this vibe of almost like after something has happened. Like, this song just reminds me of kind of the helplessness you feel after there's been some kind of gun violence issue or natural disaster or something like that. And it kind of encapsulates the feeling of not really knowing what to do with your emotions and not really knowing how they're going to help the situation. And it kind of brings the feeling to life of, I know I felt this way before, you know, when something really goes wrong and you're really heartbroken about something, you feel like if your mom were just there and you could give her a hug, that it would make you feel better. And this song is just art.
Words coming off your lips, even if you lose me, I will find you. There's no way to stop it, so don't try to.
Love is a Wild Thing is another one that's not my absolute favorite, but I think it does have a good message that I've not necessarily related to, but kind of a concept that I've thought about a lot recently, and so many of these things are just things that she put into words so well. She talks about when you find true love, you can't really keep it inside you, and you shouldn't try to suppress the love emanating from you, that you should just try to enjoy the beautiful, wild feeling while you can, because you never really know when it's gonna hit you, and you can never tell who you're going to end up falling in love with. And it's a beautiful song.
Moods weren't made for sitting by the door, since you don't want to stay anymore. You can have your space, cowboy. I ain't gonna fence you in. Go on right away, and you're silver eyes.
I have no idea why I didn't listen to Space Cowboy when it came out, but I adore this song. It's got so many classic country themes while still being completely original, which takes so much skill. Discusses a relationship that has run its course. She can feel that it's falling apart and she can't ignore the fact that it is. So therefore, like a horse who wants to run, she's going to set him free. And she uses the beautiful lines, "You can have your space, cowboy. I ain't gonna fence you in." And I just absolutely adore this song.
This far off of the ground. And they say everything that goes up must come down. But I don't wanna come down.
Happy and sad is such a mood, and I relate to this song so strongly. It discusses the feeling of being scared when you're happy because you know things are going to go back to being not the best at some point. And the way she describes this is just so much how I feel so much of the time. And I just love that she kind of takes that and writes it in a way that you can just feel it, and that's how I am with so many of the songs on this album. She says, "I've never been this far up off the ground, and everything that goes up must come down." It's the feeling of thinking of worst case scenarios in every situation you're in, and it's the feeling of almost being mad at yourself, like, why are you sitting here thinking about all the things that could go wrong when you're happy, you know, because you should just be enjoying it, but you know that it's not going to be like this forever, and you almost wish that you would just go back to being sad so you would stop dreading the time in which you'd be sad. And I have never heard a song like this that has this exact idea in it, and I love this song so much. On this album, Kacey addresses a lot of feelings that I believe are things that everyone feels but no one wants to address, and she addresses them. What? I'm sorry, that was my mother who just came in the house to tell me that someone tried to burn down our post office. You wish this was clickbait.
Red black sparkle in his eye. You're my velvet Elvis. I ain't never gonna take you down, making everybody jealous when they step into my house.
I don't know what exactly to say about Velvet Elvis, except I just love this song so much. This is probably my second favorite song on the album after Slow Burn. I love Elvis, so I love all of the references to him in here. She talks about how her man is something classic and something coveted by other people that she's kind of obsessed with, and it's just a cute little metaphor to compare it to a Velvet Elvis painting. She almost kind of like paints this daydream that she's living in, and it lets you kind of step into it when you hear this song. And honestly, I'm thinking about moving there.
Me too. But baby, I ain't Wonder Woman. I don't know how to lasso the love out of you.
Wonder Woman is another one that's not my absolute favorite either. I was pretty sure that Kacey Musgraves was Wonder Woman, but I appreciate her being humble. This song is basically just about being imperfect and her not expecting other people to be perfect either. And I feel like this is a take that a lot of people could use.
Oh, I bet you think you're John Wayne, showing up and shooting down everybody. You're classic in the wrong way, and we all know the end of the story.
Oh my lord, I did not like High Horse until I heard this song on Ellen, but she absolutely killed this on Ellen. I'm going to link the performance. She just absolutely, that performance is life. And there's also an Animoji music video of this song that is also life. This is another song that is, once again, you hear it and you're like, this can't be anyone but Kacey Musgraves. The standout line, at least to me, is, "Darling, you take the high horse and I'll take the high road." And honestly, since I started hearing this song, I found myself saying that in certain situations.
And I know everything's gonna be alright. I used to get sad.
I haven't mentioned this, but I think that Golden Hour is a really cool name for the album, considering she was born and raised in Golden, Texas. The song Golden Hour follows around the lines of Butterflies as far as lyrical content, and her vocals on this song are absolutely beautiful. And it's a good song to be the title track. I feel like that, I don't know, I feel like that could almost be multi-dimensional as well, and is a good title for the album, because all of her album titles always, you know, have a message behind them, and I can feel it with this one as well.
So tie up the bow, take off your coat, and take a look around, 'cause the sky is finally open, the rain and wind stop blowing.
And with the final song, Rainbow, a rainbow is obviously the beautiful thing that happens after it storms, and that is what Kacey portrays here in this beautiful piano-driven ballad. It's a hopeful song that there is always hope to be happy again. Love the lyrics, tie up the boat, take off your coat, and take a look around. This song is beautiful and the perfect closer to a wonderful album. So yeah, guys, that is what I think of Golden Hour by Kacey Musgraves. I didn't say this in the beginning, and I'm honestly noticing it more now that I'm talking, like, continuously, but I did see the Eagles last night. I have my shirt on, and I screamed at Joe Walsh so much that I'm pretty sure my voice went out. So, or not went out. This morning it was even worse, but like now that I'm really talking, I don't really sound like myself and I sound kind of hoarse. That's because I screamed at Joe Walsh so much. So sorry about that. But yeah, I will have a video up about my Eagles concert experience very soon. I posted a video that I took of Take It Easy because I got the entire song on film and it was a really good clip, and so I will link that. I will link my vinyl giveaway that you should totally enter, and I will link my video from last week, which was my Dream Eagles set list, and then watch for my actual video about the concert to come out so you can kind of see how many things from my dream set list were actually on the set list. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye!